Good morning, and thank you everybody for joining us this morning. I'm not sure who's joined. Waiting for a list. Apparently, only once we've got everyone logged in can we get a list. But I did see yesterday that there are a number of our partners and some actual users of our product. So, but 99% of it is our partners. What I actually wanted to go through today was more product related, and still with a little bit of a hint of the environmental benefits of the product, a hint of some government legislation, and some just a groundswell of uptake of our products and the movements. Because I think it's important that when everybody sits in their relative homes or territories, they might see specific single stream uptake of our products, but when we can present around the country what many of our partners have helped us achieve, then it gives you a better idea potentially where to take the product, potentially in discussions with customers about compostable products, about plant-based circular economy solutions. So I'll just start. I don't think we'll have 30 minutes today. I think we'll be more likely 20 minutes, but I do talk quite a bit, so that may not be the case. I'll just give everybody 5 minutes. I just want to have a look at a final list of everybody on, so I can address this webinar correctly to everybody. Okay, let's where am I going? Sorry. So I just wanted to make sure it was just the partners, because I wanted to give more some detailed information that I didn't want non-partners to hear or understand. I think what's important is, as we grow as solution providers for the local market, is that we have a real strong breadth of product. In the past, I've been quite hesitant to introduce new products, and the brick walls has been trying to get FSC certified board or FSC certified wood chips, or the brick walls have been trying to develop products because there have been some functional aspects that we haven't been able to achieve. But because of I guess the swelling of the numbers of the products that we're producing, we've been able to do a lot more R&D. We've been able to create a lot more volume to make it worthwhile. For example, some wood pulp partners to get product into areas where are close to our factory. So we will find to a point quite an aggressive launch of new products. We've got a good breadth of products that we're introducing today, and over the next 4 or 5 months, what we want to try and do is successfully achieve a complete breadth of products for you to present to customers. So we do have truly compostable solutions. And if shopping centers or stadiums or even a cafe comes to you, you don't have any holes in the products if they want 100% plant-based solutions. So as you see on the screen, we've got some products highlighted that are pretty evident. The dates are there, I think April and May. Wooden cutlery is not new. Obviously, we've had wooden cutlery now, I think, for 16 months or 17 months, and it really has done a large amount better than I thought. I didn't think people would like slight splintering of wood or even the taste of wood, but it seems to fit an aesthetic profile where people love the look of it, and they feel it has that environmental look that they're looking for their brand. So we've always been concerned about the taste of wood when it comes to very cold products like ice creams. We've been concerned about the taste of wood when it comes to hot products, because that heat or the cold, it does bring out the scent of the wood, and a lot of people are turned off against that. So we've done a lot of development with our partners, and indigenous to the area where we produce our wooden products is a plant called the carnauba plant. It's spelled down in the details of the document on our new coated wooden cutlery. And very simply, the wood comes off the conveyor belt and it goes through a natural plant wax. So it's a natural plant product, which means it's still compostable. It still can be recycled if people do put the wooden product into a recycle bin. So it doesn't affect any environmental credentials of the product. However, we'll send you out samples. Today we're sending our sample pack to all of you. When you feel the product, when you look at the product, it looks like wood, but when you feel it, it feels extremely smooth. It feels exactly, I'd say, like plastic or bioplastic. So it doesn't have that wooden touch to it, and it certainly doesn't have any wooden taste to it. And we think this will be a massive improvement in all wooden cutlery. And for the time being, I'd say for a good 6 to 8 months, it is proprietary to BioPak. I have no doubt that our competitors, as they do, will copy it and find another plant in another area in order to naturally wax or coat their wooden cutlery. But it is a very strong value add. If you look at the price points, you've got plastic, which sits at maybe $10 or $15 a thousand. You've got PLA, which sits at maybe $40 a thousand. And now you've got wood that fits in the $25 a thousand. This is about a 5 or 6% premium. So maybe $28 a thousand. So it sits very well priced as compared to PLA cutlery. It's not too far from plastic. The next thing that we're introducing is to extend our straw range. So we have a lot of requests for Bendy straws. Now, this is not the best fantastic Bendy straw that we're releasing. It's not plastic, so it's not going to do a full loop, and it's not going to give you the same concertina effect of a plastic straw, but it does bend. And we've done trials in healthcare situations because we've had aged care facilities approach us. And the reason being, they need that bend for their patients, and they're very comfortable with the results. And they were the people that provided us the volume in order to launch this range. And so it definitely is a value add for a normal restaurant or cafe. It's I guess a gimmick, or it's just something different. But yes, in the healthcare world, it does serve a great purpose. And then we have occasionally the requirement for a paper wrap on the straw, so that each straw is individually wrapped. Right now, we're just releasing a plain white with a wrap on it. Again, if there's a market that you have for a wrapped product. I just want to state again, because we've had one of our fellow straw competitors come to us and write us a letter from the ACCC saying that, why are we saying that we're the only FSC when we know that they are FSC? And the fact is they are not FSC. While their manufacturers have provided them a single document saying that, oh, we have an FSC source, look here, that's not FSC. FSC is chain of custody, so that every single batch of paper purchased is certified and has a batch number. Every product is produced with the batch number on the carton. Every one of our invoices are audited from their books, the pulpers books, and ours by the Forestry Steward Council. And if you go to FSC's website, you'll see who and who is not FSC approved. And we could save probably 8% on our product if we just grabbed some random FSC certificate that someone once gave us and said, oh, look, our manufacturers by FSC. Chain of custody, COC, as it's written on the certification, is everything. The next thing is our PLA lids for our coffee cups, and this is quite an important move that we're making. We will run down our old PLA in April, May, and round about June, the product will be fully in circulation, and I will revise pricing round about in June, because we feel like we have to drop the price of PLA to encourage more people to move across from PS plastic lids. And we'll come out with a different campaign in about a month's time and announce it. We were really going to go on a strong drive to try and get people off polystyrene. Polystyrene has health detriments. Polystyrene is the worst plastic we could possibly produce from. The PS lids, all our plastic lids, everybody's plastic lids across Australia and the world is PS. And we've got to start having a strong drive to move people off the product. But this is what we've been able to achieve with our new PLA lid is the identical design to our plastic lids. So the design has got a high profile, it's got a high front lip, and it really is a good ergonomically designed lid. And we've never been able to achieve that with PLA, because PLA in the past has been slightly brittle, and therefore it has not been able to make a high lip. With our new formulation, our lids are available in clear or opaque like the current ones, but also we're releasing the black lids. So both lids will be released, and what you'll find is over the next couple of months you'll be ordering regular lids, and slowly, as we run out of the current CPLA lids or compostable lids, the new ones will be supplied in their place. So it's a straight changeover. There will be no old lids available, but the new lid is a far better product and does give us the ability, once it's fully launched, to try and really release some aggressive pricing on PLA. It's our own formulation we've developed with the NatureWorks partner in Japan, and again, it's, I guess, proprietary. We'll be able to give you some serious benefits on pricing against other CPLA products or lids, and the look and feel is completely different to the normal flat. There was quite an uptake, and quite a difficult introduction when we launched the CPLA lids many, many, many years ago, because it is quite flat. Now, this is obviously a more regular type or shaped lid. Just for your interest, and maybe there is a market, there's a lot of beer from microbreweries being canned, and the reason being bottling plants are very expensive. So your smaller brewers across Australia are using cans. For these businesses, and there are literally hundreds of them, hundreds of microbrewers, what they do is they get a plastic ring and an applicator where they take the rings and they press them down on 4 beers or 6 beers, and you can pick them up. And you see them in bottle shops all over Australia. We launched into that market a beer ring holder, which there's an image on the screen. We have a 6 can holder and a 4 can holder. Again, it's produced from sugarcane pulp. It's certified compostable and recyclable. And this is something that we think will really be successful in that market. From what we see, there's a monopoly on those rings because of the system, the plastic rings. And they're probably about 20% more expensive than where we're pitching the sugarcane pulp. So it's a bit of a change for our industry. Normally we pitch product that's more expensive to the plastic alternates, but the beer ring holders are really aggressively priced. And yes, we need your help if you do know microbreweries in the area. We're launching the 6-pack in May, so we'll have really a lot of stock coming in with no customers, so we need help over there. But we'll be bringing a lot of product in May of the 6 ring holder, and then we'll be introducing the 4 ring holder probably at the end of June. Once again, it's very simple, bought in bulk, and people just use it either manually, or we're happy to build or modify our machinery if they have it, because that often entails large volume. The next thing that we decided to do is introduce our full retail range. For those of you who have tuned in from New Zealand, and those who know Woolworths in New Zealand known as Countdown. Countdown is about 250 odd stores that hold our full retail range. So it's a shrink wrap pack of sugarcane pulp in a small retail pack with branding and labeling. It's cutlery, it's wooden cutlery, it's coffee cups, it's clear cups. It's a full range which is available on a click when you get this webinar sent to you. We feel that there are a lot of small shops that you guys might deal with or might be able to enable as customers that might have it on their shelf. They probably currently have some plastic packaging, whether it be a small party shop or a convenience store. They've got all the plastic packaging. So these are small packs that are available in retail format. They're much more expensive than our standard bulk format, but it's geared for a specific market. Have a look at the brochure, have a look at the download. We will be introducing more and more products. As I said, right now, it will be wooden cutlery, it'll be sugarcane pulp plates and bowls, it'll be coffee cups, clear cups, and our napkins already have retail branding on them, so we have thrown in a couple of napkin ranges into that retail catalogue and brochure. The next thing is hidden by, sorry, the next thing is hidden. Just one moment. Oh, I got a 10-minute signal, so I've got to go faster. So the next thing is our, sorry, I don't know what I've done here. Excuse me. There you go. The next thing is the sushi ranges, which is so important. Right now, there's obviously a lot of plastic in sushi, and even some of our competitors have got a sugarcane pulp base. But we really have put a lot of time and a lot of effort into the base. And the base is really, really, really much stronger than the current bases out there. We've tested issues like the rice sticking to the sugarcane pulp base, and we put some additives in there, natural, in order for that to happen less than our competitors. And it doesn't soften. That rice, what it does is it absorbs moisture and it makes the base pretty soft if it's out for long periods of time. So the product is produced better than alternatives, but most importantly, we've launched that product with a compostable lid. The clear lid is a PLA lid. So it's the first 100% compostable or plant-based solution for the sushi market. We've launched the traditional ranges, being there's 3 rectangular sizes and 1 long shape. Again, probably better described in the brochure than my description. But that sushi market is an open market for us. There is some product out there which performs not so great. We've spent a lot of time engineering the lid fit. We spent a lot of time putting an anti-fog in the clear lid, so if it's in fridges, that the rice does produce more fog and fogs up the look and feel. When you're looking at it, you don't want to see a misted lid, you want to see a clear lid. So it really performs functionally brilliantly, and it is a 100% compostable product. Sorry, my next page isn't loading. Oh, it is. Oops. Just what's coming in the future. Next month, we'll have more announcement on this. We're going to release a range of paper bags. And the paper bags are going to be the takeaway paper bags, not the SOS bags or the sandwich bags. It's a range of 7 bags purely for the takeaway with handles. So we've got paper handles, we've got dark cut handles, with a bag with a hole in it, and we've got the twisted handles. We then are bringing in a wrap, which is just a wrap cut in half, similar to our sandwich wedge. We'll have a wrap wedge. On the far right, we've got a new BioPak burger box, and it looks like a square, but when it opens up, it's one piece, that box. When it opens up into a flat plate. So it is a feature for more high-end restaurants where you don't have the normal burger box. It's made from corrugate, like your burger clams we currently do out of BioPak, but it just opens up into a flat plate. The sides fold down. Very importantly is that BioCup art series. So the BioCup is something that we've had for a while. We've developed a printing methodology whereby we print on a flat sheet and we water transfer the print onto the outside of the cup. So you can have an absolute full graphic image. That image over there that we've used over there is one of the images that potentially we can use, but whether it be someone's brand, right now, all the reusable cups out there are plastic with an embossing. So, or a small, really, it's a screen print. So it's a very small screen print of potentially a name, but this literally, you can put a photograph on the side of the cup. So we will be releasing it. We built the 8-ounce mold. We're currently building the 12-ounce mold. What we've done is designed it to take a standard takeaway lid. So your standard disposable PLA or PS lid, it takes. Often the issues with these cups is that the lids collect mold, get quite dirty. And we need to ensure that what we have over there is, if it's clean, we can use the reusable lid, but it does take a standard lid as well. I want to speak for the last 5 minutes on what's happening and probably extend a little bit further than that. I want to talk about what's happening in the industry because there's a lot of talk of, oh, this recyclable solution for this cup and this other recycling industry. The recycling industry is unfortunately in a lot of trouble. We've just been denied taking our plastic and our paper waste to places like India. Okay, everybody knows about China a few years ago, about 18 months ago. Now India and Thailand are refusing Australian waste, and so it's left to countries like Vietnam. But it's getting less and less, and we need to develop local infrastructure to manage our waste. And we've gone on a lot about our compost solution, our cup recycling solution, but just the momentum has picked up dramatically. We've got a UK banning plastic straws, putting single-use taxes on people who use plastics. We've got the European Union banning cutlery, and these are moves that are happening over the next year. We've got South Australian government currently, having a look at banning single-use disposable plastic statewide, like the Hobart City Council has. And for those of you who don't know, Hobart City Council from later this year will only allow compostable products when it comes to food service packaging and beverage packaging in their cafes and restaurants. So the EPA is now really getting involved with us. We just gave them 500,000 knives and forks. They want to make sure that they're comfortable. They know that there's this drive towards organic recycling and compostable packaging being recycled. So now they're thinking, oh, if 100% of the waste is this compostable packaging, how does it affect the compost? How does it affect the application onto agriculture? And now we're doing advanced testing with it. We're taking the most difficult product to compost, which is our cutlery. And we, as I said, we're taking 500,000 or 500 kilos. 500,000 kilos, 500,000 pieces, and that was completely wrong. Just 500,000 pieces, and we're composting it over a period so we can satisfy them that they can do that they have no adverse effects of the compost, which we know it doesn't because we've done it in smaller scale constantly with our partners. But it's great that the EPA are getting involved. It means that the government are enabling them and empowering them to do the investigation for possible real legislative change. APCO working groups, we currently are working with APCO with the compost. And with our service now covering 2,200 postcodes and in major metropolitan cities and smaller towns like Cairns and Wollongong and others, we now, it's on a map on the top right-hand side, we now really are in a position to prove to the country that it's a viable solution. So I just wanted to share the business updates of where we're achieving successes, where through our partners we are assisting the process of this uptake of compostable plastics. And what I rushed through on the last page was that the government is now, APCO, Australian Packaging Company, have got a working group for compostable plastic packaging. The government is encouraging people to divert waste by 2025 and sooner from landfill. There's rhetoric of compostable, in all government language and legislation recommendations. So clearly, we really are on a fast track now to achieving what we've always set out to achieve. But it needs that. If you think about an individual in the government department, they don't know what's going on out there. So things like uptake of the compost service is essential that we just brand it and get it out to as many customers as possible. These things will prove that it is a viable solution. Right now in the recycling world, there's 1 or 2 companies that have got maybe 50 people that are taking cups back to them. They're collecting them, they haven't recycled them yet, and they will have their challenges because with contamination, with the lining, there's issues with that. Our contention is simply food-based packaging together with food belongs in one bin and has to be taken away from landfill. So we divert those organics, the methane and the greenhouse gas pollution that it creates to compostable solutions. So where are we achieving successes that you can share with your customers? We've converted Woolworths bakery and produce. If you walk into any Woolworths, you'll find that their bakery trays, but their cake trays and their biscuit trays, there's 3 items. You'll slowly see a transfer from plastics into our sugarcane pulp. The sugarcane pulp is now through the PREP tool. So it's a government tool called, it's PREP, where there's no more guessing if a product is recyclable or compostable. You stick it into the tool and it'll tell you. So the PREP tool will classify our sugarcane pulp as both recyclable in the paper stream, as well as obviously as home compost certified. So that's a great win for compostable packaging. We've had one of our major, we've had a few in the past, but recently, over the next 2 months, you'll find one of our major partners, a coffee cup at JDE, who are changing from regular cups to compostable cups and lids. If you look at Adelaide Airport, Kai Airport, Cairns Airport, all of them are changing to full compostable airports. It's a process, and it's signed and sealed, but it's a process where they'll be doing it. They've done trials. They're talking with their waste agencies, and so this will happen over the next 6 months in those territories and more. Qantas announced a few months ago, and if you look at the press release, you'll see all our products lined up on tables. We're working very closely with them. They said that there will be zero waste by 2021 and no single-use disposable plastics by next year, and next year's around the corner. So that means, the boxes that they use, the cutlery, the cups, they're looking for compostable solutions so that they can take all their waste and divert it from landfill. I mean, the assistance that we're helping over there goes down to 200 items on a plane, including Band-Aids and wrappers for blankets. And we're not going to produce all that stuff, but together we are on a focus group with them, weekly sitting with them to try and find solutions for them. Hobart City Council, we mentioned a ban all single-use disposable packaging and food and beverage packaging. Adelaide Oval, when you look at the stadiums, Adelaide Oval is looking more and more to look at compostable solutions. We've got the MCG, we've got composters on site, and we're doing final trials with them. ANZ Stadium and Bankwest Stadium here in Sydney have just changed to all compostable packaging, mostly sugarcane pulp. And it's the first step, because the next step is to take all their waste from landfill. They've got some goals that they've achieved right now. I think it's 50% diversion, mostly through recycling and plastics recycling, but they understand the crunch and the dangers of the recycling industry not being able to deal with the product, and so they're looking for compostable solutions. We're working closely with a hospital in Perth called the Fiona Stanley Hospital, as well as Melbourne Health, and both of them are looking at changing all their drive is to get rid of plastics. Our drive is to get rid of their plastics and try and get them to compost everything. But they are in final stages of approving swift changes in all products to avoid plastics. Village Roadshow and Merlin Entertainment, those are our biggest entertainers. When you look at their theme parks and their aquariums, they've all gone for eradication of plastics, and those are actually looking very strongly. Merlin are looking at compost solutions currently and implementing compost solutions, which is all the aquariums and the entertainment parks that Village Roadshow owned, the Warner Brothers movie worlds, the Wet n Wilds. Those have implemented mostly disposable compostable products. They'll complete that by the end of the year and then start implementing more recycling to organics. If you look at Boomerang Alliance, we'll have some partnerships coming up. Hopefully will help your businesses. So Boomerang Alliance we work for specifically to create plastic-free cities. We've achieved this in Noosa, in Byron, in Bassendean. They're trying in Bondi. So what they do is they go to the business and ask them to sign up to the Boomerang Alliance. And there's a whole checklist what people have to do. It's not just about the packaging. There's a whole lot more. Boomerang Alliance is a holistic environmental solution when it comes to energy, when it comes to obviously packaging and waste. So what we've done, we said, okay, go sign up companies and give them a 5% discount off our retail rate for their first purchase. Or I think it's the first 2 purchases. If that does interfere in your market, that first 5% saying, oh, we want a 5% discount, buy a pack so we can have a 5% discount, happy to, if you call me, I'm happy to refund the first 2 purchases. It's for new customers that don't use our product, number 1. Number 2 is there really are hoops that they have to fly through and hurdles that they have to get over in order to get that. And that is the stringent Boomerang Alliance ticks to make sure that they are truly taking an environmental lead and changing their behavioral patterns. So it's a positive thing. To give them a couple of first purchases discounts is great. We're trying to give them incentives to get on board, but ultimately they become long-term partners. So I haven't had a lot of thought around it, okay, and I'm not sure how many people they'll attract, but you may hear, I signed up to the Boomerang Alliance, I want my 5% discount on my first purchase. But if you do, contact me because we'll go through what they have to have achieved, and I'm happy to refund that 5%. We do have a new catalog coming out, available in May. We have 2 catalogs, for those of you who don't know. I did go to a meeting last week where I showed our compostable only catalog and was quite embarrassed that our customer didn't know about it. But what we have is a catalog which has our plastic lids being for our coffee cups and our takeaway containers. We also have a catalog with just compostable products because there are more and more events that want only compostable products. There are more and more stadiums, even cafes, restaurants that just want a compostable solution, which we have. And you will find over the next very short period of time, our takeaway containers move to a compostable. You've already seen the compostable lid that we're launching with our sushi container being a PLA lid, but we plan to introduce PLA lids for all our takeaway container products. And then we will have a compostable lid for our coffee cup, which we plan over time to hopefully bring down closer to the plastic lid pricing. So that's quite important to note, the compostables catalog, and then a catalog which just include 7 or 8 line items for our coffee cup lids and our clear lids for our sugarcane pulp products. I think that's it. I think I'm 27 minutes, which is close to the 30 and the 20 I promised. So thanks for everybody for joining, and I hope you kept up. I know I'm not the slowest speaker in the history of the world, but really call mobile or landline anytime today if there's anything on this that I haven't been clear about and that you wanted to cover off. So thanks very much, everyone, for joining.